Okay, thank you everybody for coming to the Manchester United Impairment Review that we do when we close out the books at the end of the fiscal year. One of the things that we're having to deal with on the Impairment Review specifically is the news that we had yesterday. Our star player Roche went down with a really bad knee injury, and the doctors said it was career ending. So this is going to be huge, not only on the field, but also what we do here in the Impairment Review.
How's that going to affect our financial statements?
I'm glad you asked how that's going to affect the financial statements. Well, as you guys know, Roche's original registration cost was £13 million, which we were able to capitalize and make as an intangible asset on our balance sheet. Over the years that he's been with us, we've amortized it every year, and we have an accumulated amortization of £8 million. So that leaves us with a £5 million current carrying cost for Roche, and because he's injured, we're going to have to, that triggers an impairment. So we have to get him off of our books, off the balance sheet, and the way we get him off the balance sheet is through the income statement. So over here it shows for the team, the entire team worth of player registration costs, the intangible asset is £112,399,000. His value of £5 million, we're going to have to expense that, and that's going to leave our adjusted player registration intangible asset at £107,309,000. So this is the test that we do, and that's how we get them off of our books.
That's a really big expense. Do we really need to do that?
It's a great question. I know none of us want to do that, as this is the end of the year, and no one expected to have a £5 million expense. But unfortunately, the IFRS rules dictate when something like this happens to a player, we have to recognize the downside right now as the expense. So unfortunately, yes, we do. It follows the overall conservative approach to valuing the company. So, are there any other questions?
Why do we have to just completely write him off?
The reason why we have to impair his value is because he will no longer be a part of our revenue generating function of a company. And since he's no longer part of the revenue generating part of our company, we need to take him off our balance sheet. So that's just one of the IFRS rules. So, again, in review, his carrying costs, because of the injury, he's no longer going to be part of the ongoing business. We're going to have to write him off, do the expense, and that changes our intangible asset of adjusted player registration.